Alright, generic intro of the day, featuring me, Babe.
Squats. Dual lands. You know who you are. Squats. With dual lands.
Dogs! So many dogs!
All the dogs!
And a moment of silence for the beard. And
No, not the beard! I miss the beard!
Alright, well, last week was my highest viewed episode. So, that tells me that people like controversy. So, today we're going to cover AIDS, abortion, gay marriage,
No.
the Holocaust.
No. Just do the regular show.
In all seriousness, though, I loved all the conversations that sparked from my last episode, everything, all the knowledge and the thoughts that everyone had towards it. I thought it was really great. I got my first 2 dislikes, so that was cool, which I completely understand because it's a controversial topic and everyone has their own opinion, and I completely support you having your own opinion. Because at the end of the day, we're not all going to think alike. We all have different opinions on the band. Some are right, some are wrong. I'm just kidding. None of them are wrong. And, even in controversial topics, I would hope that we can all be adults enough to still come together through our love of the game. I do genuinely appreciate the support. I'm up to 41 subscribers just from the last video. I got 11 people to subscribe. That was friggin' sick. I know 41 subscribers isn't anything big in the big scheme of things, but I think it's cool. So, until the next controversial topic comes along, let's get back to the whole group hug, hunky-dory, let's all hold hands and sing Kumbaya, we're all friends stuff. What do you guys think? And yeah, you're damn right, I'm gonna rock this shirt the whole episode. It's like 101 today in Denver, and this thing, it's like super light, and it's like really breathy. And Kimberly and I just went and saw a movie, and I was out in the sun, and like my nipples didn't start sweating. It was pleasurable. So the Nash's shirt is here to stay, baby. Yeah. All right, moving into today's topic. So one of the biggest things that I know everyone has an issue with is just getting started. That is the hardest thing for anyone, and rightly so, because there are so many options out there, and there's so many different things, different avenues that we can take and all that stuff. Who knows where to start, right? There's this magazine telling you to do this, there's this TV show that's telling you to do this, and yeah, it's confusing. So, today, I am not going to make any suggestions, I'm not going to tell you which is better, I'm not going to tell you which is worse. All I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what your biggest and probably easiest options are going to be, and let you make your own decisions. One big thing that I would really like to do today, though, is I would like to go over a brief tutorial on how to assess your own movement. Now, this is not going to be an in-depth assessment or anything like that, and if you do have the chance and the resources, please go see a professional to assess your movement. If you do not have that available to you, this is a good basic assessment that can help you greatly in knowing what to stretch and where to start in what you need to start correcting. Alright, so let's talk about what you enjoy doing as a person in terms of fitness. Maybe you hate everything about fitness, and that's okay. Sometimes it sucks, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I actually, when I was a kid, I weighed about 250 in junior high. I had self-confidence issues, I didn't like working out in front of other people and all that stuff, and so those are all very real things that you need to take into account when you start your fitness journey, because if you don't enjoy doing it, you're going to find every reason to stop. So let's talk about big box gyms, okay? Your options are going to be, obviously, the one that I work at, 24 Hour Fitness. You have Gold's Gym, you have Planet Fitness, you have, there's Snap Fitness, there's a bunch of those bigger, they call them big box gyms, the great big ones that are just, they have everything that you possibly need in them. Now, in terms of those gyms, there are some skill level that comes with each gym. So your Planet Fitness is going to be a beginner level gym. They're going to have mostly just machines. Actually, I think all that they have is like dumbbells in terms of free weights. Everything else is on a machine in most Planet Fitnesses. Planet Fitness is also going to be your cheapest. Okay, there is, in my opinion, a reason why it's the cheapest is because it's missing a lot of the crucial things that you may want as you progress. Then you have 24 Hour Fitness, which is your basic big box gym. Okay, they got free weights, they got treadmills, they got all your cardio equipment, they do classes, all that stuff. Okay, so for a good, well-rounded gym, 24 Hour Fitness is a great start. And then you have Gold's, which is like the super fancy gym, and they are also the most expensive because most of them have juice bars, most of them have all this other stuff that is, in my opinion, kind of unnecessary. But if you enjoy those extra perks, if you don't want to make your own protein shake and you want to get a shake from the juice bar before you leave and stuff like that, yeah, Gold's Gym is going to be a great opportunity for you. And then, so if some of you are from a smaller town, there's also your smaller mom and pop gyms. Okay, those are the ones that have all the equipment from the 80s, and that's where your grandma's uncle's friend works. Now, what about running? What about cycling? What about all the other outdoor activities? Perfect. I highly recommend you start taking on more outdoor activities as well. But the gym should be where you go to build strength and to add an additional workload to your body that you're not getting outside of the gym. So now let's talk about what kind of routine should you be doing when you first start in the gym. Again, that's where you're going to hear a billion different opinions from a billion different experts, okay? So, I am an expert. This is my opinion, okay? If you guys don't know this, if you haven't been following my channel, I am a corrective exercise specialist. I'm a master health and fitness coach at 24 Hour Fitness. That's why I didn't try to plug 24 Hour Fitness. I think it's a great gym, but I think other gyms are great too. If you work there, you get a free membership. I'm also a senior fitness specialist. I'm a weight loss specialist. I'm a nutrition and nutrition sciences specialist. And I am still currently working towards becoming a licensed nutritionist. So, from my experience working with people that are just starting out, the best thing to start with is a muscular endurance and strength routine, okay? Yeah, big words, okay? Bear with me. So, your muscular endurance and strength routine is going to be your basic isolated movements that help get your mind-muscle connection together a little bit better. Okay, and what I mean by that is you want to be doing single joint exercises. You don't want to be doing squats straight out the gate. You don't want to be doing deadlifts straight out the gate. You want to be, for example, you want to do basic movements like a machine chest press, things like a bicep curl, things like seated leg extensions, seated leg curl. All of those single joint movements are going to be some of the stuff that you want to start with. I'm not saying that you got to stay with it, those specific routines, for a long time. Just like the first 2 weeks to a month where you're literally just getting the feel for things. That is what I would recommend starting with, is just single joint movements. Okay? Now, your rep ranges. Sets of 12 to 15 are going to probably be your best bet just starting out, because you're not putting an immense amount of load on the body, but you're also getting a really good factor, which is called time under tension, okay? You're doing more reps, therefore your body is under tension for longer periods of time, which is going to build muscular endurance. With me so far? Any questions? Go ahead and put them in the comments, okay? I got you. And a lot of people will think more is better, right? Especially starting out, that is not the case. You want to be in the gym for a half hour to an hour starting out. 45 minutes is usually your good point. Like, my clients have 50-minute sessions with me, and they're usually pretty smoked by the end of it. Even my more athletic clients, like there's a lot that you can do in 50 minutes. Okay. Me personally, when I do my workouts, I do about an hour and a half, just because in the gym, it's very mental for me. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but I used to have a big problem with binge eating. Okay, that used to be my outlet, my mental outlet for comfort. Now, whenever I'm in the gym, that is my mental outlet. That's where I process things and stuff like that. So I spend a little bit more time in the gym, not because I'm hitting more intense workouts or that it's doing more for me, but just because it gives me more time to be in my head. And that is something that is very important to me. So within a half hour to an hour, you can usually knock out about 10 to 15 different big exercises, doing about 3 sets of each exercise, sets of 12 to 15. And you really don't need much more than that. I guarantee you do a week of that, and after every single day of each specific muscle group, you're going to be pretty sore. And then so that brings me to the next portion of this, which is how to break down your days. So again, an isolated endurance and strength routine is going to be your best bet, and what that entails is you do one specific muscle group each day of the week. Now, if you can't start at 5 days a week, that's totally fine. I have certain clients that start at 2 days a week, I have certain clients that start at 3 days a week, and that's totally fine. You just need to break it down into what works for you. Do you notice a theme here? There is no one size fits all. There is no this works for him, so it's going to work for you type thing. That's completely false. And so when you see that in these like Men's Health and Fitness or any of those other big magazines, bodybuilding.com, all that stuff, that doesn't, it works, but it's not going to be efficient because you're not personalizing it to yourself. So if you're doing 2 days a week, you could break that down into upper body and lower body. Okay, 1 day upper, 1 day lower. If you're doing 3 days a week, if you want to work more on lower, you could do a lower posterior and core, and then you can do a lower anterior and core. So, does anyone know what posterior and anterior means? So that's front and back. Posterior back, anterior front. Science! And then your third day can be a full upper. Or you can do an upper push, which is all the muscles in a push, which is going to be your chest, your triceps, and your front delts. And your other day can be a upper pull, which is going to be your lats, rear delts, and biceps. And then your last day is lower. But if you're breaking it down into a 5 day a week, you have arms, chest, back, legs, shoulders. Boom. Now you notice I didn't mention core in any of that, and that's because core can be done supplementary to every single one of your days. I don't want to dive super deep into it, but core is a different, all the muscles in your core are a different muscle type, so they can handle much more stress much more often. Alright, this is the part of the video where I'm going to try to get you fuckers to actually listen to it. Okay, if anyone can tell me what type of muscles your core stabilizers are, I have 6 booster packs of Modern Horizons. I will give away 1 of those 6 booster packs for the first person to answer that question on the honor system. Remember, on the honor system. I'm not going to check you or anything like that. Okay? So, don't Google it. Just be a fair sport. Okay? If you can tell me what type of muscle your intrinsic core stabilizers are, you get a booster pack of Modern Horizons. So where does cardio fall into all of that? Great question, person who just asked that. That wasn't me. I'm going to answer that for you. So cardio plays a very good factor in any fitness routine, okay? Notice how I didn't say huge. It's not a huge factor, okay, but it is important. So, especially in weight loss, or even endurance, or anything like that, you want to have cardio as an aspect of your training, but not the focus, okay? I'm gonna hit you all with some science. You ready? So, Cardio only has a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning for every 1 hour of cardio you do, you're only burning calories for that 1 hour. With strength training and resistance training, you have a 1-to-72 ratio. What do you guys think that means? For every 1 hour of resistance training you do, you're burning calories for the next 72 hours. And that's because of the recovery period. Because in the gym, when we're lifting weights, we're not building muscle, we're breaking them down, we're tearing our muscles. And the next 72 hours is the recovery process, and that's where the added calorie burn comes in. So, if you have been going to the gym and you're struggling seeing results because you're doing, 45 minutes of cardio, an hour of cardio, maybe it's time to think about changing up your stuff a little bit. And I'm not saying take out cardio. Most of my weight loss clients, I have them doing 20 to 30 minutes of cardio, but it's a specific type of cardio. So when your goal is weight loss, the best type of cardio that you can do, hands down, is interval cardio. High intensity, low intensity, high intensity, low intensity, high intensity, low intensity, okay? If any of you are military, who remembers 6120s? I know I fucking do. 6120s is a military classic where it's 60 seconds, high intensity, usually running around a track wanting to kill yourself, and then 120 seconds of low intensity, the recovery process. And the idea of that is to take your heart rate through different phases because that burns more calories. Speaking of burning calories, I have a Metcon tonight, metabolic conditioning, with a buddy of mine. And I love Cliff Bars. Not all of them, though. A lot of Cliff Bars taste like ass. Mint chocolate. Fucking dope. Hey, Cliff, if you guys want to sponsor me, I'll tell everyone your bars don't taste like shit. So, I know that I'm kind of breezing through some of these topics. If anyone has any specific questions on any of these topics, put a comment. Message me. I want to help you guys. So, moving on to our next portion. Okay, you're in the gym. Where do you start? Really good place to start is assessing your own movement. Okay? If you go in the gym and you make yourself strong, but you have all of these impairments and all of these dysfunctions in your movement, you're building strength on top of dysfunction, which is only going to lead to injury, right? The most important part about being healthy and being fit isn't lifting awesome weights, isn't squatting 400 pounds or anything like that, or curls for the girls, nothing like that. The most important aspect of being healthy and being fit is being functional, okay? So the best place to start in the gym is learning where your imbalances are, what muscles you need to stretch, what muscles you need to strengthen, and how to integrate them together.
So, one of the first assessments that you can do on yourself is in your gym or at home with a big full mirror is you do a squat assessment, okay? So some of the things that you want to look for, your good squared away squat is going to be in a good squat stance. Hi, Nugget.
The dog is making cuter, I'm sorry.
So you're going to be in a good squared away squat stance, about feet shoulder width apart or whatever is comfortable for you, okay? That's another really big indicator of where your feet are, how comfortable that is for you, okay? If you're only comfortable squatting this wide, that may tell you something. If you're only comfortable squatting this wide, that may also tell you something, okay? So, feet shoulder width apart. You're going to look at yourself in the mirror from the front and then from the side, okay? So you're going to sit down and right back up, okay? You want to do that about 10 times and just kind of watch yourself. Some of the things to look for are if your knees go inward as you squat, that is going to be an issue. Even if it's only slight, that is still an issue. If they go out really hard, that is also an issue. If your feet, as you go down, if they rotate outward completely on accident, like if you're not controlling them to go outward, that is also going to be an issue, and we'll talk about that. Another thing in the feet is if they do what's called pronating, which is this as you go down, that is also something that you need to take into account.
Bodhi's totally shitting in the background.
God damn it. And so for a lot of people, it's not that simple too. Some people may have one side that does well and another side that goes in, or another side that pronates. And that's all something that you're gonna have to figure out for yourself. So from your view from the side, your squat should look something like this. Your torso should be upright, knees should stay forward, like that, and right back up. Okay? If you're looking at yourself from the side and you notice that your torso starts to fall forward, and you can't keep your chest upright without feeling like you're gonna fall back, that is gonna be something that you need to correct. So another one to look out for is if you go down into your squat and your squat looks like this, you can keep your chest up, but you have to arch your back ridiculously to do so. That's gonna be something else that needs to be fixed.
Those are all going to be really good things to look for, but I cannot say it enough. If you have the resources to have these assessments done by a professional, I would highly recommend doing that. Okay, they're going to be able to see things that you can't, and they're going to be able to guide you more in-depthly in the proper direction than I can. Unless you want me to. Then again, you can comment or message me. I'll freaking help you. I don't even care. Like I said, this is all free knowledge, guys. Use it. I literally just do this show for the giggles. Like, I work 3 days a week. It's Tuesday today. I don't have jack shit today. So here I am, talking to myself in my kitchen. So, if you can identify one of those issues, okay, most of them are going to stem from the same thing. Similar things. Okay, one, if the issue was down in your feet, where the ankles rotate in, it's called pronating. If your ankles pronate, your calves are probably tight. Okay, so stretching and rolling your calves is going to be extremely helpful. If your knees cave in, your insides of your legs, called your adductors, are probably tight, and the outsides of your legs are probably tight as well. Okay, and with anything from the knees up, if you're having issues with that forward lean, having issues with that arch in the back, okay, that is all going to stem from weakness in the glutes. Your ass is weak. No bueno. Because a lot of those things stem from the glutes not being able to support the torso. The two biggest things that work together, the two biggest movers in a squat, are your quads to support knee extension and your glutes to support hip extension. Okay? So if the glutes can't do that, the knees are going to take over and the quads are going to have to take over for everything. So that's where all of that, if you struggle with knee pain, that's where that's going to come from. If you struggle with hip pain, that's where that's also going to come from. So I would highly recommend, if you have any of those issues, stretching your hip flexors, these guys right here in the front of your hips, and your quads and your calves. Okay? Without any specific knowledge for a particular person, that's as far as I'm going to go, because I'm not going to have you guys doing all kinds of weird stretches that may not even affect you. Okay? So that's where we're going to start. If anyone wants, we can do another episode on doing assessments for the upper body. We can find tightness in your lats. We can find issues in your rotator cuff. That's in the shoulder. If you're having shoulder pain or anything like that, you have no idea how easy shoulder pain is to fix. Believe me, guys, it's easy. Okay, unless you have skeletal issues or anything like that, it is an easy thing to fix. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Very basic. Again, I don't want to, as I've said, I don't want to overwhelm anybody. I don't want to try to dive super deep into this stuff. This is literally for someone trying to start out. Someone that has no idea where to begin. This is for you, and I'm here to help you. Okay? So I really don't have much more for this episode, unless you guys want me to show you my dual lands again. Aaron, hey, you and that other guy, you guys want me to show you my dual lands? I could break out all the rest of my really expensive stuff if you want. I'm kidding. I got so much hate for having nice cards. Man, you have dual lands, and you're an asshole. Some people can't have those cards. You should support the community more. You're nothing but a pub dragger? What the fuck did that one dude call me? I don't know. something about dragging Knuckles in a bar, I think. I don't know what it meant. All jokes aside, guys, I seriously hope that you guys can see that I just do all this stuff for the funnies. Like, I hope these videos in themselves, the ones on the fitness side, show you that I am really just here to help you guys and get more involved with the community. And I do all that other stuff just for funnies. I love this community, and I love all of you guys, and I genuinely appreciate the support and all of you just taking the time to listen to my stupid voice on the internet. It's a really fun hobby, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy it. So yeah, any specific questions on anything we've covered today, please feel free to leave a comment or send me a personal message. I should have this edited by the end of the day. Still stuttering. But yeah, should have this by the end of the today, and have it out to you guys by this evening. So, as always, I'm Dakota. This is the sickest fucking NASA shirt you're ever gonna see. This is Pumped Up Gaming, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Dual Lands.